Hello everyone. Today we got ourselves the Dell laptop back on the table once more. I've made two previous videos on this, one purchasing it from eBay for $17 and a second one going through and upgrading it. Now there's one problem with this laptop, and it's not the fact that it's all like scratched up or the fact it only lasts 2 hours on battery life. It's the fact that it can't game, or kind of can, but 15 FPS in Portal is not much of a gaming experience. And because it's 15 years old, this does not have any sort of USB-C on it. So an eGPU is kind of out of the idea. So, well, what about hooking up one to a PCIe slot? But we also have a problem with that. So we got the back popped off here, and there's no sort of NVMe slot on this. There's SATA for the SSD, but there's no sort of NVMe or some sort of like a PCIe connector, which I wouldn't expect to see something like that in a laptop like this. So does that kind of end the ability to try to use a GPU with this laptop? No, it does not. See, there's one forgotten port on these laptops because it tended to be meaningless, or it just wasn't used very often. And that is this. So what is this? This is an express card slot. Now, if you haven't heard of that, it's a more modern day version of PCMCIe slots, or essentially what it is an expansion card for your computer. As you can tell, no one used it because the blank's still in there. But being called an express card makes you think modern GPUs plug into a PCIe slot or PCI Express slot. So express card, express slot. If you look into it, as I have, turns out that it is a PCIe slot in a very basic way. It's really bad. It's PCIe Gen 2 by 1. So even though that it's not necessarily full bandwidth and everything, it still is a PCIe slot. But the problem with that is that the GPU no fit. So what are we going to do to solve that issue? I found something goofy online that hopefully should make this work. Here's the goof. So what we got here is an express card to PCIe by 16 adapter. Now, as you can tell, this is very jank. I mean, it uses a USB 3.0 cable with dual ends on it. That's the first no-go. And people hate these. This is a SATA to or a 6-pin power connector for this laptop, and the slot's even red, which people don't like that anymore either. It's a little bit out of fashion. So with all these weird stuff in here, we should hopefully be able to plug this GPU into this laptop. Sounds simple enough? Well, no, there's more yet that we gotta do. This is being powered via SATA slot, right? Or, I mean, if you have the right connector, then it's fine. But you also need to power the GPU. So increasing the jank levels is what I like to do. So nothing more appropriate than using a period correct power supply. It's a Corsair GS 700 watt. But in order to make this work, we're gonna have to force this power supply on to power both this board here and the graphics card itself. So this is going to be quite a bit of a fun project. And then after you even get all this powered up, I don't even know if it'll work or anything will happen. I got a feeling it's going to be fun to get drivers going. But that's what you're here for, right? To see all this fun chaos. So first things first, we probably should assemble this a little bit. Alright, now that this is built up, we're going to need to use our laptop here. Now I'm gonna have to get a different angle because I'm sure that this won't work like an eGPU traditionally does, and I'll have to display out of the GPU. But the kind of neat thing about this is that we'll be able to see the performance of the mobile CPUs from this time period. Besides for like weird stutters and stuff, because running out of a lot of bandwidth when trying to use something like this. So let's plug it in here. What, does it not work? Maybe I need a little bit more. Oh yeah. Plugs right in. Now we'll have to remove this plastic goober and lose it like everyone else does. Alright, so we're gonna enhance our jank here. I could use a little wire or whatever and be safe here, but because we're kind of crazy, we're just gonna leave it plugged in. And we're just gonna short these 2 pins right here. Should have plugged it in. Darn it, I'm being too safe. Alright, now the jank's off screen, so you can't feel nervous or anything. Now again, it should probably pop up on my monitor, so I'm gonna have to get a different camera angle here and hook up the display port or HDMI here. Alright, so I haven't even turned on the setup here, and our GPU fans are taken off here. I see the plastic peel wasn't taken off the GPU, that's nice. I got our DVI cable plugged into our wonderful Dell monitor. So nothing to do but let's engage the jank. I don't know if this thing is charged, I hope it is. The fans are ramping down. That's a good sign. Come on, display. Light hasn't turned green, so it hasn't turned on yet. We got something booting up here, and nothing's showing up on the screen here. That's kind of weird. Or it booted, and there's nothing on the screen here. Are we just on the wrong input? I mean, that's possible. Power saving mode. That should be digital. Holy moly. The jank is working. I don't know if do you have graphics drivers or any of that? Doesn't seem like it. It's not super smooth or anything. But we're currently outputting via the laptop, via the express card slot, through this old GTX card, with the power supply over here and all that. Alright, I'm not going to show you my password. Alright, we're on our desktop here. Let's check to see if we got a GPU or drivers or any of that. It doesn't see our GPU at the moment, and I assume that's because we don't have drivers installed. So instead of messing with drivers and stuff like that, I'm gonna try to let Windows install drivers. I assume Windows Update can install the correct ones. If it can't, I'll go through and search on NVIDIA's site to see if I can find them. So we got ourselves a security update, a Realtek semiconductor update, and an NVIDIA displayed adapter update. So hopefully we will have good news, and it has to retry. Nice. Oh. I made the Windows noise. Holy moly. There we go. GTX 770. 2 gigabytes of VRAM. So this is pretty crazy. We got ourselves a video driver. That means this card here, this guy, he's doing stuff. Now it said it was still downloading driver stuff, so I'm gonna let it completely finish downloading all the different updates, and then maybe we can try to run some video games. That'd be pretty cool. The only thing is I don't know how long of a charge I'll be able to get on this, stay with this laptop here. Let's see here. At 88%, we have 1 hour remaining. So hopefully I'll let it try to install drivers and stuff. I just don't want to start plugging in like 3 power supplies here to power this mess. Alright, I finished letting the drivers install and things update here, so we can finally see if we can play a game. And we're gonna try Counter-Strike soon, but I want to start with something a little bit more simple. Let's go Fallout New Vegas. This came out around the time this laptop did here. We are playing. So it sees our GTX 770. It's widescreen and all that. Well, actually, it needs to be 16:10. Let's go full resolution, and I'm feeling lucky. Let's go high, and no HDR. Can I play Fallout? Wow, that was fast. For reference, the last time I did this or whatever, it took a good, I don't know, 30 seconds or whatever for it to boot the game. And it was just instantly. Now we only have 4 gigabytes of RAM in this laptop, and of course this is a 2 gig GPU. So I'm not gonna really try gaming here. I just want to see if it can load in or if we get like any sort of FPS and everything's working right, because nothing's 3D yet. Just load my last game here. Whoa. So this game got about 17 FPS. We're fighting with 40, 50. Oh, definitely above 60 over here. Don't worry, I'm gonna go through and turn on fraps and all that stuff and make this a little bit nicer, the setup here. But I just want to see if it works, and you could very easily play this game with this. Besides for the fact that you can't both like aim and whatever, because it's got touchpad rejection. So because of that issue, we're gonna have to go to the gaming equipment. Alright, we're now equipped with our proper peripherals, our Logitech G602, and RGB keyboard. That's all I can say about this, because I don't know what model it is, and I don't care about it enough to flip it over. Alright, let's launch Fallout New Vegas once more, now with all of our gaming equipment and a better view. Since it ran so nice, yeah, we'll just keep it everything how it was. Sound still comes from the laptop. 2 things to worry about. Battery life on the laptop, and the fact that the laptop is, I don't know, it's kind of old. Hopefully it doesn't die doing all this. There's a lot of janky connections going on. Alright, so we're once again back in game here, and we're getting 40 FPS. Using fraps here. If we looked over here, I thought we got 60, yeah. 60 FPS if you look this way. 30 if you look this way. Now, I'm not sure exactly what all the bottlenecks in this case are, because we have so much just weird stuff going on. I mean, it's very possible that we could be GPU bottlenecked. It could also be CPU bottlenecked. We could be bottlenecked by RAM. Could be bottlenecked by the bus adapter or the PCIe adapter. It's very possible. I'm sure it restricts some of the performance potential. Alright, that's Fallout New Vegas, and it runs really well. So let's go to something a little bit more intensive. I don't know if this would be very intensive, but Portal 2. Oh my god, we have 500 FPS, 600 FPS in the menu. Loading up the game. Can we hit 700? 700 FPS. We're hitting off the rev limiter here. We can see the boot up in so many frames. Bummer, this monitor is only 60 Hz. 250 FPS. This is a bit of an upgrade from, what was it, 30? Or maybe it was closer to 60 or something. This is a lot more FPS than what it was. Let's continue game. 60, 70. Let's start trying to clear this room a little bit, I guess. Laser, something laser there. Yeah, we're fully functioning here. We're getting lots of frames. This Portal 2 is very playable. So now that you see Portal 2 is very playable, well, what if we go to something a bit more intensive? Let's play some Counter-Strike 2. Write in a comment below, do you prefer the Valve logo with the Valve and the guy's head, or this logo? Are we actually getting in? The question is, will this run better than a PlayStation 4? Probably. CPU's a lot better. I'm not gonna touch nothing here. I'm just gonna let it load in. I gotcha. The GPU's old. Holy moly, we're playing. And Fraps is not working. I might be able to run Afterburner on here, but then we're... Alright, let me try to get Afterburner going. Alright, so I've tried to get Afterburner working and stuff like that, and Afterburner works. I can't get rid of a tuner to work or whatever. So we're just going off the Steam FPS thing, and we're getting 31 right now. Now, I'm going to assume the worst part of playing this thing is going to be the internet, because my internet is garbage. So, yeah. We're loading into Inferno. It's a pretty big map. That's probably not helping much. Oh, we're compiling shaders. That's good. Problem is there's 2,000 of them, and we're at 600 about by the time. Oh, sounds like I'm dead. We got noises. We got gameplay. Wow, the settings are very low. We have almost 2,000 milliseconds of delay, and we're at 2 FPS. I'm not touching nothing right now. Just gonna let it do its thing. Oh yeah, not responding. Darn, I'll try this again. Alright, we're gonna do a practice match here. Dust and casual. The idea behind doing this is so I don't have to worry about any sort of internet issues. Oh, we're functioning. Let's go counter-terrorists. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's working. Wow, this is bad. This has got to be 12 FPS. Feels better to play than when playing on my Wi-Fi though. So somewhere there's an improvement. So we're currently playing at low, so let's put it up to high. We can do it. So high settings here in Counter-Strike 2 with, this is just the bots and all that. We're playing at about 7 FPS. Can I get a kill at oh. It recovered. So, since we're playing with bots now, let's actually try to play a real match. Oh, we're in a real match! Why is there 11 players? That's weird. I don't remember being 11. Oh, no. Please don't. It was running for like a few seconds there. Alright, no, we crashed, I bet. Yeah. Oh, we're in game. We're in game. We're playing with other peoples. It's 44 FPS. It's practically like high performance mode. So yeah, you can play CS2 on a 770 and an i7 620M. Now for the last one here, we're gonna see if we can play some Fallout 4. Low settings. Let's go. Alright, so this is the most inconsistent frame times I've ever felt. It feels like going from 20 to like 60, so it looks pretty smooth, but it feels like garbage. But we are playing this game, which is pretty crazy. In menu here, we're getting 60. Alright. That was pretty fun. So yeah, that's Fallout 4. Plays okay. Alright, so what did we learn today? I'm still waiting. So this is probably one of the most janky things I've ever done, but it was a lot of fun. And should you do it? Probably not. But I mean, for what? We got ourselves a $17 laptop with probably $20. Probably you could get away with minimum $20 of upgrading it. We got ourselves, I don't know, this is just a cheap power supply I got a while back or whatever. We got ourselves a $30 graphics card and a $20 adapter, and we were able to play Fallout 4. We could play Counter-Strike 2, stuff like that, which is really cool. And that's kind of where I want to kind of add the conclusion to this video, is stuff like this, stuff that might be thought as being just kind of garbage and should be kind of thrown out and retired at this point, can still do stuff. Look, it played video games, and it can, this thing could be upgraded more yet. It could take more RAM, could use a better GPU. I mean, I have a 1080 somewhere, but I don't know if it'd be worth even trying to hook that up. But yeah, today's video is not necessarily about being truly practical with tech stuff, but morely just, you can do some pretty crazy stuff. So yeah, I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like these kind of tech videos. And I also have fun software, installing old software, modern Windows, and modded a computer mouse. That was pretty fun. And the other videos for this laptop, the first two, those ones are pretty good. Those ones I put a lot of pride and effort into making them really good. So yeah, thank you for watching.